Dubai is known for its opulent lifestyle, a city that does not sleep, attracting the wealthiest people across the globe due to the ease of accessibility to luxury and a high standard of living. But there is a side of Dubai that isn't discussed as much. The Dubai Frame is a prominent architectural landmark in Dubai which represents the gateway between the old and new Dubai. It highlights the city's transformation from a trading city to a modern metropolis. Today I'll be exploring one of the historic neighbourhoods in the so-called Old Dubai. Deira. Deira is one of the oldest and culturally rich neighbourhoods in Dubai. It was traditionally a trading hub for pearls, spices, textiles and commodities, benefiting from its strategic location along the creek, perfect for maritime trade. But as the city transformed into the Dubai we now know, newer, more modern areas and infrastructure emerged, pivoting the attention away from historic neighbourhoods like Deira, which are still important to the trade and commerce economy of Dubai today. However, there is one part of Deira that still attracts thousands of tourists every year: the Gold Souq. I'll be heading to the Souq today from my apartment in Business Bay. So I am in the taxi on my way. When I initially put it on Kareem, it said it was going to be around like maybe 20-ish, 25 minutes, but I think it's probably going to turn out to be around 30 minutes. Usually when I come to this side, there is a lot of traffic, but I had to just get out of the taxi and walk because the stopping and starting motion of the car, because there's so much traffic, was making me feel a little bit sick. Souq is an Arabic term referring to a traditional marketplace, and the Gold Souq Dubai is one of the largest gold markets in the world, renowned for its vast selection of gold jewelry as well as other diamonds and gemstones. But don't be fooled by the Arabian music. This is what it actually sounds like walking through the Gold Souq.
Bags?
Bags?
Louis Vuitton, Burberry, Prada, Fendi bag.
I'm okay.
Madam, is that a bag soap?
I'm okay.
You like some bags now?
I'm okay.
Bags and shoes.
Ooh, guys, I think this is how it's gonna be. Like, people just come up to you and want you to come into their store. I might go check out maybe one or two so you guys can actually see. And I did go to see one of the stores, one of the designer stores. The guy actually told me to turn off my camera. That camera is not allowed. When these people who tell you they have their like designer stores and stuff, it's never like on the main street. They then take you into like, you go alleyway, and then you kind of go like into a building and then upstairs. Whilst I would not purchase a fake designer bag, if anyone is interested, these bags were going for around 150 to 250 pounds, a fraction of the price for which they currently sell at, which is unsurprising given Deira is known for being one of the most affordable neighborhoods in Dubai. This is one of the reasons why it attracts so many workers from Africa and South Asia, and because of that I decided why not try some local African food. The first restaurant I went to, I decided not to eat there, and I will explain why soon, but once I got in, I started searching for a new place to eat at. So then I find another African restaurant that I said, okay, surely this one has to be it, and this one says it's in a hotel, so I think, okay, if it's in a hotel, like it must be a lot cleaner. First of all, when I step into the hotel, I realized that this is, is this a hotel? Because like, some parts of it aren't done. I eventually go back on the road and I meet this random African uncle and I ask him like, hey, do you know where the African restaurant is? And then he finally takes me to the restaurant. The first restaurant that I went to look at, I walked there and I literally walked past the shop so many times because I was like, there's no restaurant here. And then I eventually ended up calling them, and then the lady's like, yeah, we're open and everything. So she's like, oh, can you see the supermarket? I'm like, yeah. She's like, okay, I'll come out and I'll come get you. So she comes out of somewhere, and when she comes out, like I also see two cats come out of the same building, and I was like, oh, there's no way. And then she like sees me, doesn't come to collect me, just sees me, like waves and then goes back in. So then I call her back because I'm like, I'm not going into a building or into a restaurant that has like cats like walking around. So then she comes back out, she picks me up to take me into the store. And when you immediately walk in, it's like, I don't know if it's like a plaza, it's not like a plaza, but it's kind of like, imagine like the entrance to a plaza, but it's filthy, as in filthy. There are people sitting on the floors are dirty. So you kind of walk in and then there's like doors like going to different shops or restaurants or whatever. I walk in and then you turn right and then there's the restaurant, but the restaurant is really like, it's clean, there's no cats in there, there's nothing. But just the fact that I had to walk through literal filth to get into the restaurant, so much so that stray cats were walking, I was like, oh my god. And then I went in and then they didn't even like, they were low on stock basically. They had no chicken, no beef. I was like, oh hell no. And they had no Wi-Fi as well. Let's just hope this food is good. Often people ask me whether I miss home when I'm in Dubai and like whether I miss London and like just that sort of thing. And I always just say that there are so many parts of Dubai where you can get that home feeling, and being in this restaurant was definitely one. Like they were playing music that my mom usually plays when they were super nice. It was just like seeing your aunties, you know. They were they were super nice. They were telling me how they love me and just saying like, you know, you're one of us, and that they were just so happy to see me. And I don't know, it just really felt like home. What a day, you guys. One more stop. I have arrived on the floor and it doesn't smell great. I have the keys. Oh, does not smell great. But there's also loads of like bikes and stuff around. This is the entrance and you come around. At least it's painted white. It's kind of fairly bright. This is the living room area, which is quite big. Then I guess with these tours now, I'm sure you guys are used to like the structure of how these, not even just Dubai, even some of the Doha apartments had this layout as well. But this is the rest of the room. Let's go out on the balcony and see. Big balcony. Not the worst view. Bathroom is not bad. It's not bad. It's not great. Like the finishings and stuff here are just like not. And then oh, another toilet here as well. So size-wise is actually pretty good. And then the kitchen, which is enclosed. Taxis were just taking forever to come, and I think it might be to do with the fact that probably people in those areas aren't really taking taxis as much. A lot of them were walking a lot and a lot of people were on bikes, etc., which I guess is just like a cheaper form of transportation. But anyways, there just weren't that many taxis, and so every time I had to take a taxi, I was very conscious of the fact that I was literally standing on the side of the road waiting. And if you know anything about the way sex workers are, that is exactly what they do to get work. They stand on the side of the road and they just wait for work to come to them or someone to pick them up. Every time I was doing that, I was like, oh my god, I'm waiting here for like 5 minutes for a taxi to come, and I don't want people to mistake me for that. And whilst I was doing that, I did get a few weird like, hey sweetie, like just weird things like that. I did have one car also like slow down. I think it's quite easy to judge sex workers, but I have spoken to someone who was actually trafficked to Dubai. In her case, she was in her home country and someone who was here told her that, you know, they have a job for, if she had a particular skill, let's just say her skill was sewing, they told her that, you know, hey, we have like a shop here, you can come and sew or whatever. And then when she landed, they actually took her to this house where there were loads of other sex workers there, and they also took her passport. And obviously you're coming to a foreign land and you don't have your passport, you don't know anyone here, you don't have money, and that is how a lot of people actually get into those sort of things. And it wasn't for her, it wasn't until she actually ran away and was able to get a job in what she actually was trained in that she was able to break out of being a sex worker. So I don't judge them obviously because I don't know what the circumstances are, but I just don't want to be mistaken for one, because people don't respect them, and that's the truth. So you don't know what weird things people will say to you or do to you if they think that's your line of work. So I hope you guys actually enjoyed that and maybe give you a little bit more insight into a side of Dubai that I guess people like me even like don't really speak about, don't really show, and that's because we don't really go there because there's not that much there. If you are looking for something that's super affordable, an area that's super affordable, then it is going to be a good area to go to. However, for example, the apartment that I saw, that one was like 55 dirhams, right, for a 1-bed. But if you guys remember the apartment that I viewed in Town Square, in the Uno apartments, which were absolutely gorgeous, had so many amenities, I'm pretty sure it was around the same price. So even if I was looking for something more affordable, I personally wouldn't go to an area like Deira. Lastly, I'll just say that though Deira felt very different from the areas I usually frequent in Dubai, it still felt safe. There was a police station close by to the Souq, and there were signs of CCTV recording whilst I was walking to my various different destinations. That's it for this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you learned something new about Dubai.